So apparently, the founder of Dfinity, it seems like he's excited. I'm not joking, right? Take a look at the screen. He said that one of the most exciting projects I'm working on as of right now, or he's working on, I should say, he claims is the Mechanicus agent framework. Now, people may be thinking, what's Mechanicus? Is that a character from the movie Transformers or the Transformers series? Not to my understanding, at least. But it's actually about something else. And I'll actually talk about this in today's video because it actually has an aspect of cloud engines, which is much anticipated when it comes to Deer & Computer. Now, I'll talk about all of that in today's video, but I want to clarify, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, it's just my perspective, and nothing I say is financial advice. So if we take a look at it, again, I'm just going to refresh everyone's memory. Dominic Williams said one of the most exciting projects he's working on right now is the Mechanicus agent framework, which, by the way, it's apparently designed to automate migration of enterprises to open software as a service running on Deer & Computer cloud engines. So this could be pretty impressive just because we've already seen the demonstration when it comes to cloud engines in terms of the demo, but we're still awaiting the full-on launch of cloud engines, right? Which apparently, according to Dominic Williams, it's going to be soon, allegedly. I even made a video on that, so yeah, I've already gone into more detail in regard to that, but this is just more so of a refresher, right? At least in terms of when he's planning to launch cloud engines, which he hasn't set an exact date yet, but he said it's soon. So yeah, we'll wait and see. Could it be like 2 days, 3 weeks? I mean, I have no idea, but he said it's soon, not that long ago. So yeah, besides that point though, this could be pretty impressive because when Dominic Williams says he's excited to actually work on a project, it showcases that he still has the enthusiasm, charisma, and as well as the, I guess, drive, right? Because we see some other projects out there, the founder, the CEO, or whatever, who's running the project in some cases, like they seem very demotivated, especially because we take a look at this combination as of right now. The market not doing the best, and then also some of these projects, they've already kind of been pretty massive historically. So sometimes the founder, they just take a break. They're like, okay, yeah, I mean, we're just going to be in cruise control mode. That's it. But when it comes to Dominic Williams, keep in mind, Deer & Computer is not a small project by any means. This is ranked 48th in the world in terms of market cap when it comes to this space. And yet still, even despite that, Dominic Williams, again, the founder of Dfinity, is still seemingly very enthusiastic and even excited to work on a project. In 2026, keep in mind, we gotta let that sink in. This is not the usual when it comes to this space. Typically, founders of projects when it comes to this space are not happy to work on projects or even excited to when the market isn't doing the best. In, again, not every single instance, but in a lot of instances that I do see. So when I take a look at Dominic Williams being one of the few as of right now to actually be excited to work on a project in 2026, it's quite legendary actually when it comes to this space. Dominic Williams really has this drive, right? He really has this enthusiasm about him, in which case I think can't really be taught because technical knowledge, memorization and all this, I guess I could learn that, but in terms of like enthusiasm, energy and all that, that sometimes is pretty difficult to be taught. Sometimes it just comes from like within, just sometimes like naturally how I guess I might feel. So when it comes to Dominic Williams, I like this. I like this energy that he has, right? Being so excited still for 2026 and also what goes on when it comes to their computer. I'm just very happy to see this because let's take this into consideration. When the Deer & Computer was almost at $19 in 2024, did we see the demo when it comes to cloud engines? No, we didn't. Did we see Caffeine AI version 3 back then? No, we didn't, right? Did we see OIC version 2.5 back then? We also did not. Furthermore, did we hear any announcement in regard to multi-DEX, which is apparently their upcoming DEX? We didn't hear any of that either in 2024. When do I hear all of that? Right now in 2026. So let's just let this sink in. Dfinity didn't really have to do much because it's clearly showcased that even back in 2024, by them not doing as much as right now, Deer & Computer was doing already pretty okay, and that was just pretty much driven through the market sentiment. That was kind of it. So they could have easily just been lazy. They could have done that. They could have been like, oh yeah, we've already achieved that. Whatever. We're done. They could have easily done that. Because keep in mind, the internet computer still had a lot of fans even back in 2023, 2024, when it was nowhere near as good as it was fundamentally right now. So it's not like they had to do all this, like in terms of Dfinity, what they're planning to do. They didn't really have to do it because they've already showcased that in the past, they've already been able to have a lot of fans regardless of all the stuff they're planning to do in 2026. But yet still, they're willing to work this hard. They're looking to launch things, which is so surprising. It showcases that the mindset isn't necessarily a short or medium term mindset, it's a long term mindset, because projects won't do that if the mindset isn't for the long term. So sometimes when people like to ask me, oh, does this mean that their computer is not going to be cared about in a couple of years? No, I don't think so, because as long as Dfinity keeps trying to do things, I don't see what's wrong with it. I mean, they're trying, and also when people like to say, well, their computer is still at around $2. Like the all-time low is $1.98. This is not doing that good. But to me, at least, this is not about the price. Do you think Dominic Williams can affect the price when it comes to this? No, I don't think so, because, or not, why would he want it to be low? It doesn't make sense, right? The whole market overall isn't doing the best. This is nothing unusual. This is pretty much what the whole market is doing currently. Now, it's not like every single project is hovering at around all-time low levels like this, but a lot of projects are down. That's the thing. And if the common denominator is that a lot of projects are down, what I want to focus on is the ones that actually keep trying to improve and keep trying to develop. And personally, because I'm still just waiting and just holding, because there's really nothing else I can do beyond that, what I want to focus on is the projects that keep on thriving and building, right? And I'm seeing updates as of right now when it comes to Dfinity. So I'm just voluntarily waiting. I don't have to, but I'm voluntarily doing so. That's the thing. It's like, for instance, do I really have to, I guess, use my Brooks shoes? No, not necessarily. I mean, it's not a requirement that I have to buy that brand, but I just like it, because Berkshire Hathaway, they own Brooks, the shoes. I like the color, I like the design. I'm currently using the Brooks Adrenaline GTS, by the way, the GTS 25. So yeah, I thought that was just pretty cool. So I'm wearing that one. I like the stability that I have when it comes to it, but I'm just saying still, it's voluntary. You know what I mean? So when it comes to his space, I kind of view it no different. It's kind of like it's purely voluntary anyways, but of course I want to be waiting for the projects that I'm a fan of. And I'm just dollar cost averaging once a month. That's really about it. But again, when I see how Dominic Williams said that he's excited basically to be working on something called the Mechanicus Agent Framework, I thought it was just pretty legendary. Again, seeing that enthusiasm and that level of drive in 2026, it's pretty rare to find, actually, in terms of that level of enthusiasm. But hey, you know what? Dominic Williams, I didn't expect anything less. He's very vocal when it comes to what's going on in regard to their computer in terms of the project. When it comes to Dfinity, he seems still very enthusiastic, so I am a fan of that, and it seems like Caffeine AI is still doing its thing. Seems like Cloud Engines is closer than ever before to actually launching. It also seems like when it comes to Multidex is also apparently one step closer too, because recently phase 1 concluded and the second phase basically began. So again, there's still a lot of things going on when it comes to this. But yeah, when it comes to the price, there's nothing really I can do beyond that. It's still around 4.5 times away from $9, which is what it achieved back in November of last year, which isn't really that good, by the way, just because the peak in 2024 was almost $19, so $9 isn't even really that good in the grand scheme of things. But now, because the internet computer is so low, it's to the point that suddenly $9 becomes quite impressive, because we're now around 4.5 times away from that. So it showcases just how low the internet computer has gone down, which I don't necessarily mind, because I don't mind the dip. But you know what? In the meantime, I'm still holding and waiting. That's kind of it. However, I'm not telling anyone to do anything. I'll be sure to make more updates though moving forward, so I want to say thank you so much for watching.